hold up in this place? And,
As people
That's
come out.
tomorrow.
be both.
Yes, I guess.
So I guess for Simone, it seemed like your character got adapted to the arm pretty quick. So I mean, where is she at going into season 2 of Iron Fist? Beyond the arm, but just where she's at, as a police officer.
I think that going into Iron Fist season 2, Misty is, she's fully invested in who she is now. There's something that happens that brings her downtown to check on Colleen and Danny, and that's where the journey starts. And so you get to see Misty outside of Harlem, outside of Uptown, and it's a different jurisdiction, so it's a different set of problems. It's a different set of super-powered people that she has to deal with, and that's exciting. I mean, it's all about the devil and I think in Harlem, she knows Luke, she knows Bushmaster, she knows Mariah, and these are people that she has to deal with on a certain level, and then she comes downtown and it's a whole other set of issues. It's fun.
For you, Alice?
Chinatown. Chinatown.
Well, Chinatown is downtown.
Yes, I understand.
How much can you talk about Typhoid and for those who are not familiar with the series, what she's all about?
You mean with the comic?
Yes, and how different will it be from the series?
How different will the comic be from what we see
Yes.
in Iron Fist? I actually think that they've done a really, Raven has had Typhoid Mary in the film. He wrote Elektra and has always been interested in the character and is certainly versed in the comics and educated me a lot and gave me the comics to read. And the essence of the comics is a real visceral violence and violence as a response to trauma and violence as a response to communication. I think she'd rather be violent than say hello. And I think that has translated really well over into the comics, into the series, because that's the essence of what Raven took. In terms of the origin story, maybe there are slight departures, but the fury is there.
Jeph, you famously own basically every Marvel comic, right, from the beginning.
Close.
Close.
It's some of them go back to the beginning, but from 64 on, yeah.
So, being a lifelong fan, collector, getting to finally adapt.
Would you like to buy the collection? Because
I would absolutely not like to. I cannot afford that. But being able to go through those long boxes and start picking up these books and saying, oh well, now I've adapted that. I've made that into a TV show. What is that feeling like to kind of see these characters come to life?
Look, it's thrilling. Look, I'm the luckiest guy in the world, and I have the coolest job in the world, and I don't take it for granted any day of the week. But it isn't just that. It is working with, first of all, the team that I work with is extraordinary. That you never get to see these things, because they are actually there on the ground trying to make sure that things are happening right on the Punisher right now. So Stephen Quinn, or whether it's James Rabe or Tom Weaver, those guys are there. Emma Fleischer, Thomas Pratt, Runaways is going okay. So it's that part of it. But the bigger part is that I think, particularly now, in a world where it's just really confusing in terms of who our heroes are, that the stories that Stan Lee and John Kirby and Steve Ditko, and then later the people like Roy Thomas and Steve Englehart and Jerry Conway and hundreds of others, and there are people that would include me in with that group, and I always sort of look at it and go, yeah, I wrote some comics. I don't want to think that I contributed to the culture the way that they did, but that was sort of the first odd thing, was to having bought comics for so long, that to go to a comic store and see my name on a comic was a surreal experience. So that to then see those comics get turned into television shows and movies and have that experience now go worldwide, and particularly when the shows that are on Netflix, which immediately translate day and date all around the world in something like 190 countries, that's the part which is really thrilling, that we're telling stories that affect people's lives, and that, you know, whether it's Mary's story or whether it's Misty's story or whether it's the story of, in this particular case, of Danny Rand and his journey from you know, in season 1 we spent a lot of time sort of talking about, you know, Danny is billionaire, Danny is trying to figure out where he is in the world, and this year to ground him and take on the responsibilities as a vigilante in Chinatown, and who is trying to sort of make good on a promise that he made in that Murdoch when that Murdoch died. So, in the Defenders, spoiler alert, sorry, I should have watched it. You know, that's our place where we start, and so. But I care more about the relationship that Danny has with Colleen than I do with, you know, all the cool action that everybody saw at the panel yesterday was our way of saying, look, we're upping our game here, and we hope that you guys agree, and we're incredibly grateful to everybody at this table for all the kind words people have been saying, because I think people did walk in and sort of like, you know, I'm from Missouri, you know, I'm the Show Me State, at least I think Missouri's the Show Me State. I'm sorry to everyone in Missouri.
Anyway, so
it's just cool.
I have a question for Alice, actually. Where are we in Mary's story when we meet her? Are we in the beginning? Is this an origin? Are we going to get flashbacks?
I think that it's fair to say it's an origin story.
Yes.
I think that that's what I certainly was investigating when we were doing it. I think that we don't know at the beginning what we're doing. I don't think she knows what she's doing. And I think that through various events and the idea that you don't necessarily remember what your other personality did, I think that that's a big part of how she integrates herself in the world that she does downtown. But yeah, we do see some flashbacks.
I mean, I think what's cool about it is that we meet her at a certain point in her life, and then cards get tipped over as you go. There's a mystery about this woman. We don't really know who she is, what she wants, and then something happens, and then you go, oh, we didn't know that's what was happening. And it's fun to talk about it here at Comic-Con, but the truth is, when people experience it, they're not going to know that she's typhoid Mary. They're just going to be watching the show, and this woman's going to come in and behave a certain way, and then, you know, and then another woman's going to come in and behave a different way, and they both happen to be played by this woman, and they're going to have to go, well, what's happening here? How does that affect everybody in the story? So the history of what it is and what it was beforehand, I think, is the fun of watching it happen along the way.
For Simone, what do you say to the fans of Misty Knight that are having a tough time getting behind the change in canon for her story?
When you mean the change in...
So-
you mean that people are like, why did she have to lose her arm? Is that...
More about the Danny relationship.
Oh, I mean, you know, I think that these shows are evolving. We're watching relationships happen, and I think that, you know, for example, in the original comic books, Luke and Misty never get together. And so, or they get together, but it's not in the way that so many people expect it, because they know that Luke and Jessica are together. And so there are people who watched episode 1 of season 1 who were pissed, who were like, what is this? This isn't supposed to be. And yet you have a whole group of other people who are like, I want them together forever. You know, I think people don't know what they
like,
want until we give it to them.
Ripped down the middle.
Right, exactly.
Cut her in half.
So I think that, you know, everything is always evolving within these shows, and I think that the fans just have to trust that Jeph and Raven and Cheo and all of the Marvel creators know what they're doing, that they're telling the long story, and whatever happens, you're going to be happy with it one way or the other, or you're going to be mad with it one way or the other. You
And
can't
both
make
of those
everybody
things
happy.
are okay.
And
It's
just like
okay.
in Mary, a duality exists
Yeah.
within everything. So.
That's awesome. I like when they do that.
Claire Templeton has been one of the first unifying forces of the Netflix shows.
Sure.
Been in almost every one of them except for basically Jessica Jones season 2. Is she going to? Because I know she did reach out to Luke for help in Luke Cage season 2. Is she going to also be joining into the show and basically involving in the escapades with Misty Knight?
In Iron Fist 2,
Yeah.
Claire won't be in there, but our relationship with Rosario is awesome, and we love her, she loves us, and when the story lends itself into that place, then and hopefully she's available, we go down that road. I mean, believe me, there isn't any showrunner who hasn't come in and said, "So where are we with Rosario?" and we go, "Well, let's tell the story and figure it on out." But what's been fun about it is, I think Simone is now giving her a run for the money in terms of
No.
she's been on and been running around. So
No.
that's look. If again, it always comes down to story. If it warrants that someone else be in there, we don't want. Some people would be really satisfied if Danny Rand got on a bus and Foggy Nelson was getting off the bus, and that's cool. It is, and to a certain extent, it's sort of like, really, that's what you did? So you can't, we always look at it from the point of view of what's the best story. We don't run an Easter egg farm. We do put little things in there that people know, but we certainly don't want it to be something that people focus on. We don't want it to be distracting from the story.
I mean,
I was gonna say, speaking of run for the money, are we gonna see Turk Barrett?
Turk
I
baby.
can't confirm or deny where Turk is going to show up next.
Talking about run for the money, he's been on almost every one.
Rob is a terrific actor, and he's certainly part of our company. So,
I mean, is there because me and my friends, we always joke with the Marvel TV series and stuff, it feels like, I mean, how do you avoid not being cocky? Because we feel somebody's always like, Marvel can't do that, and it's like, hold my beer, we're gonna do this. I feel like with Cloak and Dagger, and you got this, and it's like y'all really got some things going. So how do you? Yeah, I mean, that's really not how we're seeing, and it's like, so how do y'all keep yourselves from not really getting cocky about it and be like, just throw anything out there and such?
No, I mean, I think people who at least know me, I've been doing this a long time. I don't want to sound like the old man on the mountain, but I get to be the old man on the mountain. And, I think what we talked about at the beginning, which is I came from comics. I was writing movies and I was writing television, but comics are something that are important to me. They're important to me as a kid, they're important to me as an adult. And so when I come here, to me, I look out, I've gone to now 30 Comic-Cons, so in a row. So at the end of the day, I came.
Moment of silence.
I remember when it was in a basement, and it was basically just like you were looking through comics on a table, and there weren't panels, there wasn't any of this stuff. And I think you could meet artists and get drawings, and I think that's the place that everyone at Marvel comes from. I mean, really, when you look at, Joe Quesada's been in this business as long as I've been in this business. He and I talk about comics all the time, and to give a shout out to my buddy Jeff Johns, we shared an office together. Whenever we start, it is always about Raven is the big geek in the world. When he came in and started talking about Iron Fist, it was to talk about, I love this character and I want to tell the best story I can. I will hire passion before anything else. And so at the end of the day, the storytellers that we bring in, the actors that we bring in, the cast, the crew, everybody has to come from a place of, this is super cool, we're getting to do this, let's go do this. So because the audience can smell it. They can smell it when it's not a group of people who really want to tell that story. And so far, we've been doing that.
Oh, cool.
So Cloak and Dagger was mentioned. So O'Reilly mentions her friend Misty. Will we see Simone in that?
Let's just say it was not by mistake.
Okay. Now, I feel like Misty hasn't really interacted with Danny too much, and while they may or may not be romantic, could you talk a little bit about how they interact in season 2?
Absolutely. In Luke Cage season 2, obviously Misty gets her arm from Danny, and so there is a level of friendship that's intrinsic in just that. And in Iron Fist season 2, we get to watch that develop. I jokingly say that Misty is the third wheel at every one of Colleen and Danny's date nights. She's just always showing up while they're trying to drink tea. And so I think that you get to watch how these two interact with each other as well. And it's in a new and interesting way, I think, than what fans are even expecting. So you'll have to see on September 7th.
Yeah.
How does your relationship evolve with Colleen as well?
You know, we start out hating each other fiercely, and then we just kind of mildly can't stand each other by the end of the season. So I'm joking. Spoilers. No.
Take the stress.
Major shift.
You know, these are two women who don't have a lot of girlfriends. They don't have, you know, women that they call up to, you know, gossip about their man problems. And they found one another in this time that they've gone through this very traumatic event together. And Colleen feels oddly responsible for Misty losing her arm, and Misty absolutely doesn't view her in that way. And so in Luke season 2, Colleen is coming in to help pick Misty up from where she's kind of sunk to. And in Iron Fist season 2, Colleen is in this way where she's not really certain of who she is. And these two women don't deal with those situations just sitting around with wine and like crying. It's like, you know, they deal with it in a very odd way with humor and things that most women on screen, you don't see them deal with these kind of situations in that way. And so I think that you get to enjoy a lot of levity and a lot of humor in Misty and Colleen's relationship in Iron Fist season 2, and I think it's something that the fans are really going to enjoy.
Thank you very much.